Hey y'all, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Haven't been on here in a while, and you know that's me. I just needed some time to sift through every so often. I sift through my belief system and who I am, what I am, and ask those questions. I know about a month ago I thought through what do I really want? Uh, and some of the things that I felt like I really wanted weren't necessarily things for me, but things for all people, basically. Well, I do want peace. I want uh, abundance in mind, body, spirit, and in finances so that I always have more than enough with something to spare and something to share. Something that I say when I stir my tea in the morning. Um, But I want that for everyone. I want freedom, justice, and equality for everyone. And I'm 67 years old, and I've seen America go up and down and turn around. I was a child during the 60s in Alabama. So I remember the civil rights movement and the things that we fought for, the right to vote and those things. I remember the assassination of Martin Luther King, John Kennedy, and Robert Kennedy, and how that affected my parents and grandparents. I remember that. I remember the marches. I remember going to churches, to meetings about the marches. Um, I remember those things. Some barely, but I remember those things. And to think that turnaround 50 something, almost 60 something years later, and it's still the same. Wow. So, with the question of what do I want, I want freedom, justice, and equality for all people, no matter of who you love, no matter the color of your skin. Um, and to coin a phrase from Martin Luther King, I want people to be judged by the content of their character and not for who they are or who they love or any of those factors that really, it is none of our business, basically. Um, and then I want spiritual freedom because I have an alternative spirituality. I am a witch. I make no apologies for that. Um, I'm a powerful woman, and I know that. And I'm not saying that to be bragging, but it is who I am, and I stand in that power. I am an intelligent woman. Some may be smarter, some may not be, but I'm somewhere in the middle of that. Still intelligent. I cannot be spoon fed what to believe, what to say, what to think, what to do. I have a thinking mind, a critical thinking mind that can see things, decipher, and evaluate and come up with, what is real pure bullshit and what is real. Um, and so, with all of those things, when you don't go with the crowd, when you can't be spoon fed, when you can think and be, I love to read, to write, to think. Um, you become an enemy of the state, basically, almost, because you are not controllable. And to be a Black woman who is a witch, and from your history, from the ancestors, my witchy ancestors, and from my African ancestors and Native ancestors, um, the history of you being a rebel comes with a price. But still I stand, and in the great words, and still I rise, and still I rise. I will always stand. I will always rise as my ancestors have done from time until time. And we will still be here fighting for the freedom of the next generation, for them to take the torch. And so it is. And so why it is that I could not give up the fight. I just couldn't. So going back to the question, I asked myself, how did I land here? Why am I a witch? And a black woman as a witch. Why am I? Now I'm going to be honest and say I'm still kind of fighting with that question. Because sometimes I've been in magical craft probably now about 30 years or so. And it's been an on and off journey, I'll be honest, not like 30 years straight, but there's been some gaps. Obviously, I'm 67 in between that. So I kind of take it from the last time that I proclaimed this, and I've stuck with it since then, which would probably be in my late 20s, early 30s, kind of somewhere in there. And so it's not an exact timing, but as close as I can get. And I think it's because I think the ancestors has stirred something in me to fight any way necessary, be that magically, spiritually, physically, mentally, with all of myself and with all my being, to fight to be who I am, to who I've earned the right to be from generation to generation. It is the fighter in me. It is the warrior in me. And, though I love love and light, and there's a time and place for that. And that is a part of who I am. I love everybody in light. But there is also the warrior in me, the dark, feminine part of me that I make no apologies for. Because I've needed her to stand when it was difficult to stand, to find the strength in me to fight when it was difficult to fight, and to draw that blood and that DNA from my ancestors, my witchy ancestors, and my black ancestors, and my native ancestors, and be who I am today. That would almost require me to use everything in my power. Physically, mentally, spiritually, magically. I use everything in my power to be who I am. And it leads me to being who I am as a black woman that is a witch and makes no apologies for that. It is the woman who can be soft and beautiful and loving and nurturing, but if you mess with me and mine, you will see something so different than that. That will use everything in her power and her being to make sure that her people, her children, her friends, her family will be protected. You will see the lioness come out. I am that. As much as I am the loving, gentle, nurturing deer. But there are both a part of me, and both are me. And so it is. I could see no other way that I could be nothing else but who I am and who I've become. So I have become, and I'm still becoming, the woman I am today, the witch that I am today, and the fully standing, erect black woman that I am today. Possibly everything that patriarchy and the powers that be does not want me to be. But I stand in the fullness of who I am, of the birthright of who I am, and claim that I am this. And I make no apologies for it. And so it is. Have a beautiful day. My thoughts for today.